In today's video, we're going to talk about the unbelievable story of Hassan Daqou, commonly referred to as the Lebanese king of Captagon. Who is Hassan Daqou? Hassan Daqou, also known as the Lebanese king of Captagon, is one of Lebanon's most influential drug traffickers. His main activities involve the production and smuggling of drugs to Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and Greece. Daqou succeeded in establishing a large network of associates in these countries that allowed him to work under the radar all these years, until now. Thanks to his connections with politicians, military officers, and other influential people, he was always granted power, protection, and high social status, which altogether allowed him to get away with arrest for his crimes. Eventually, the controversial Lebanese businessman was arrested on April 9th by the Lebanese security forces, who previously promised to fight drugs in that country. Allegedly, Daqou received Lebanese citizenship following a court decision in 2018, but this information was denied by the Lebanese president, Michel Aoun, on Twitter. Daqou lives in the border town of Tofail, which is located in eastern Lebanon on the Kalamoun mountain area. Even though the town principally belongs to Lebanon, it overlaps with Syrian territory. Hezbollah forces took control of it in 2014, with the Syrian side controlled by the 4th Division, affiliated with Maher al-Assad, brother of the Syrian president. Information on Daqou's past is not publicly available, meaning that many different versions of his life story emerge. We're going to focus on one that's widely accepted. Let's see how Daqou became the king of Captagon. The rise of Hassan Daqou. Daqou's father was one of the biggest smugglers in Tofail. After he passed away, his family sold their land, and Daqou used that money to open a car showroom in Syria, between Damascus and the city of Al-Nabq. Eventually, he started smuggling drugs into Syria, and on his way back to Tofail, he installed a plant for Captagon production. In 2014, Hezbollah took over the city and therefore appropriated his plant. After some time, Daqou managed to build good relations with Hezbollah, and due to that, he expanded his business by installing several Captagon production plants across the Syrian-Lebanese border. As time passed, Daqou accumulated wealth thanks to his criminal activities, reaching a fortune worth millions of dollars. His residence in Tofail is considered the most magnificent and the most expensive building in that town. He profited immensely thanks to good relations with Hezbollah, which he didn't try to hide. On the contrary, he prided himself on his association with that organization, appearing next to Hezbollah emblems on numerous pictures posted on social media. Importing chemicals and other equipment necessary for Captagon production was never easier thanks to his strong bonds with Hezbollah, granting him security. On the other hand, he managed to build friendships with many politicians, including the Lebanese Interior Minister Mohammed Fahmy, who allowed him to build 5 huge warehouses in Tofail. This wasn't enough for Daqou. He wanted more. He got hold of enormous lands, estates, and real estate on Syria's Lebanese border, with an emphasis on the Syrian towns of Rankos and Asal al-Wad, as well as the Lebanese lands of Tofail. Of course, he needed all this for expanding his manufacturing and drug smuggling business. He tried to justify his actions by announcing to the public he needed the land for building a cement factory that will help develop the local industry and employ young people as well. The said truth behind Daqou's good intentions and his fall. Daqou used construction company Caesars, which he owns, in order to confiscate enormous lands he previously claimed he'd bought. Most people accepted leaving their lands out of fear, but the minority who opposed experienced terrible torture and harassment. Armed men from Asal al-Wad and the 4th Division helped him with that. All of the land he stole was allocated to his associates, including the Al-Agha family, reportedly responsible for smuggling Captagon into the Gulf states. Daqou received numerous warnings from security and judicial authorities on his wrongdoings. In fact, he donated 600 million lira, or $40,000 to Hezbollah in exchange for improving his image. Eventually, the country declared war against drug smuggling, and the main victim was nonetheless Daqou himself. The country was facing an economic crisis for some time, and the last straw was when Saudi Arabia banned the import of Lebanese agricultural products, which downgraded the Lebanese economy even more. Besides that, people were extremely dissatisfied when it came to the drug smuggling situation in that country. country. These are the main reasons Lebanon's officials decided to declare a war on drugs, thinking it would diffuse the situation among the Lebanese people. The arrest of Hassan Daqou and the background. Before his arrest, the country faced a serious problem with drug trafficking. Apparently, Lebanese security forces discovered 5 million Captagon pills hidden inside a shipment of Syrian pomegranates. This shipment entered Lebanon from Syria with falsified documents, allowing it to pass easily through the usual security and political coverage. As a result of this incident, Saudi Arabia banned agricultural exports from entering the country. An investigation took place afterwards, and it revealed some very interesting clues. For example, the son of the former minister Mahmoud Komati Haytham is accused of collaborating with Daqou, who was under arrest at the time for Captagon trafficking. Some sources also claim that Hezbollah was about to carry out an internal investigation when it comes to Komati's son. Besides that, the sources added that Haytham would be summoned in no time by the information branch, which will soon finish its judicial investigations. Following his arrest, Daqou's wife, an attorney, was recorded asking one of her husband's attorneys to bribe the judge. Hezbollah tried to evade the scandal and distance itself from Daqou, but it was obvious it was too late for that. The son of former Hezbollah minister Mohammed Komati Mitam Komati was allegedly involved in the Captagon trade with Daqou. Komati, of course, denied all the accusations. For that matter, Hezbollah couldn't even evade the scandal, and its involvement in Captagon trafficking was publicly revealed. Even before that, it was clear that Captagon production, packaging, transporting and trafficking cannot be done without the direct help or approval of both the Syrian regime and Hezbollah. As a matter of fact, the trafficking takes place on the borders between Syria and Lebanon, where Hezbollah has absolute control. The possible aftermaths of Hezbollah's and Daqou's terror. The area of Kalamoun, which connects Lebanese Bekaa province and Al-Zabadani areas in western Damascus, is now mainly used for smuggling weapons and drugs and has become one of the most important crossings for Hezbollah and the 4th Division. People are becoming more and more afraid of the possibility of burying of toxic substances in the area. To make things even worse, landowners notice vast amounts of secrecy imposed on the construction sites taken over or purchased by Daqou. At the same time, armed men don't allow anyone to come anywhere near it. People also worry that this land can turn into a Hezbollah military base. Some of them have concerns that the area is going to become a suitable place for building underground protected concrete structures that will be suitable as weapons depots. Can the drug smuggling problem in Lebanon be solved? Hezbollah's support base demands their cities and towns become a miniature model of the fair state vision Hezbollah calls for. But the reality is completely different. These cities and towns are slowly turning into military centers, considered safe ground for drugs, corruption, and chaos. We can't help but mention the Lebanese efforts in fighting drugs that frequently ended up in discovering numerous manufacturing plants. On top of that, the media, along with politicians, always point out the importance of every arrest. But despite all that, Lebanon remains one of the leading countries in the production and smuggling of Captagon, which calls into question the sincerity of Lebanon's intentions in fighting crime. Since drug smuggling in the country is still a leading problem, many people say that the media and politicians work together in their attempts to exploit every arrest and thwarted operation, while mainly smaller smugglers get into trouble, leaving these more important ones untouched. On the other hand, the arrest of Daqou might be evidence to the contrary, and it's yet to be figured out if his arrest was just an isolated case or if it will become an established practice in the future. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing and want us to continue with more cool content. Until the next time.